In his letter to the Colossians, St. Paul writes, "Now I rejoice in my sufferings for your sake, and in my flesh I am filling up what is lacking in the afflictions of Christ on behalf of his body, which is the church." Anyone who suffers the daily pain and frustration of chronic illness knows that rejoicing in the midst of suffering is no easy task. If you bear some sort of physical, emotional, or mental disability, or endure a chronic illness such as diabetes, arthritis, multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia, post-polio syndrome, cerebral palsy, depression, bipolar syndrome, or any one of dozens of others, you know that no one completely understands what you are going through like someone who also bears a chronic illness or disability. My name is Father Lawrence Jagfeld, the current administrator of CUSA, an apostolate of persons with chronic illness or disability. CUSA was born on December 8, 1947. Mrs. Laurie Brunner, an immigrant from Belgium, had moved to the United States with her husband before World War II. She had been a member of the Union of Sick Catholics headquartered in France. Here in the United States, she lost contact with her friends in Europe because of the war. It was her dream to begin a new chapter of her beloved apostolate here in the United States. Placing the apostolate under the protection of Our Lady, she and a handful of others who were isolated to their homes or bedridden began this apostolate as a way to break the bonds of isolation that often accompanies chronic illness and disability. These first CUSAns believed that they could sanctify their lives by accepting the cross of illness or disability and uniting themselves to the sufferings of Jesus. CUSA is a way for people with chronic illness or disability to care for others like themselves through an online or postal service Christian support group. We support one another through prayer and correspondence. Through our concern for one another, we forge a special relationship with our God as well as with one another. Our unity is born of a common situation and a common faith. Our bond goes beyond that of fraternal organizations or social group clubs, for it is forged by the redemptive suffering of our Lord Jesus Christ. Each CUSAN belongs to one or more groups of no more than 8 people who participate in a round-robin letter, either traditional postal mail or email. As the letter moves from member to member, each CUSAN adds to it. Each group is led by an experienced CUSAN, and there is a priest who serves as spiritual advisor in each group and participates in each round of the letter. The leader and an assistant keep the letter fresh by removing old letters. Each CUSAN is encouraged to share the events of her or his life, as well as the faith that guides and supports her or him in illness or disability. Sometimes the spiritual advisor or leader will lead a specific discussion. Members are encouraged to include a personal message to each of the other members each time they write. In addition to the correspondence, each CUSAN prays a common morning offering and prays for the members of his or her CUSA family. In addition to praying for each other, CUSANs also pray for and offer their sufferings for the church, to build up the church. Each group has chosen a specific patron and a specific intention for which it prays and offers up their sacrifices. In this way, though they may not be able to be very active in their local parishes or communities, CUSANs minister within and for the church. You will notice that CUSA is an apostolate of persons rather than for persons. People who live with the cross of chronic illness or disability, or both, are usually aware of their dependence upon others. For instance, my struggle with post-polio syndrome and psoriatic arthritis makes it difficult for me to carry anything while I am walking or navigating a flight of stairs. I am therefore dependent upon others to carry things up and down the stairs. Many CUSAns live with personal caregivers who help them with their daily tasks, something as ordinary as getting in and out of bed. These are all examples of acts of charity which are done for us. However, chronic illness and disability do not exempt us from the need to perform acts of charity ourselves. While it is difficult or even impossible for a paraplegic to do something physical for someone else, this does not mean that they are incapable of acts of charity. CUSAns practice that virtue of charity in two very real ways for each other. This is why we identify our apostolate as an apostolate of persons rather than for persons. We ourselves are agents of charity as well as the beneficiaries of it. Our acts of charity take the form of prayer for our fellow members, as well as the timely handling of our group letter, so that the other members of our group will not be left isolated for too long a time. I would like to invite you to join us in our apostolate. All you need do is contact me and express your interest. You can find my mailing address or my email address at the end of this introduction. You can also contact me through our website at www.cusan.org or through Facebook, www.facebook.com/CUSANS. While CUSA was founded by a Catholic woman, and we often refer to our faith in God and Jesus Christ, we accept people of all faiths. And while there is an annual dues of $20, we waive those dues for all who are unable to pay them. In other words, all are welcome in CUSA. The only requirement is a willingness to pray with us, support one another through correspondence, and to make the effort to bear the cross of your infirmity or disability with the help of our God. I look forward to hearing from you. God bless you all.